Good morning, peeps. Who's ready to talk mental health? So, I have been asked or suggested, or it was requested, or whatever you want to say, is there's a concept that I've worked with for years and years and years, and it's something that means a lot to me, and basically it's a tool, technique, whatever you want to call it, that I have in my tool belt for mental health, and it's called mini wins. The concept is mini wins. What I'm looking for, there's nothing wrong with setting 1, 3, 5, 10-year goals, long-term goals, all those types of things. Those that know me know that what really works well for me is I want to stay on track every single day from a mental health perspective, from a goal setting perspective, from a goal achievement perspective. And what has really been effective for me from a mental health perspective is looking for 3 mini wins per day. Okay, so it's an actual active practice. It's not something where I'm hoping to get 3 mini wins per day. What I am doing is 2 things. Number one, I'm extremely self-aware that I'm actually looking for the wins per day. So when you are actively looking for them, think about it from this perspective. You can either just walk through life and just kind of notice what you notice. And a lot of times it's easier to notice the things that affect us negatively. It's just we tend to lean towards that. So we see something that annoys us in our spouse, in our coworkers, anything at a restaurant. But what I'm doing is I'm actively looking for 3 mini wins per day. So what I'm actively doing is looking for the positive. That's just my default now because I've been doing that for so many years. So I actively look for those things. Now, the second thing is I'm actively looking for a certain number of those things, okay? So I'm looking for 3, which means this. Let's say I'm getting through the day and I see, and I'll give some examples of mini wins, and I really want to talk about how this fits into our mental health and in the changes that are going on with the coronavirus from people going from working in their office to their home. So I'm going to get to that. But here's the deal, is not only am I actively looking for them, I'm actively looking for a specific number of them. I'm looking for 3. Why? Number one, 3 is not a big deal. 3 is doable. I'm not looking for 12. I'm not looking for 50 of them. I'm looking for something that's very reasonable. I'm looking for 3 wins per day. Here's the other thing. Not only am I looking for 3, but if I find 1, I find 2, I notice 1, I notice 2, but I don't notice a 3rd. Here's what it challenges me to do. Now it's my responsibility not to look for a mini win. It's my responsibility to create a mini win. Okay, so I talk about, and I've had hashtags for a long time that I always do, hashtag Cultivate Wins. I think it's my responsibility to cultivate, to create wins. So I'm looking for the mini wins every day. I'm looking for 3 of them, and which makes me very aware of what's going on around me, and I'm looking for the positive. And if I don't see 2 or 3 of them, then it's my job to create them. So that's the basic concept. Now, how does this, first of all, from a mental health perspective, it can be a game changer for a lot of people. Now, I want to talk specifically about the change that a lot of people are going through right now. Due to the coronavirus, and a lot of people, their offices have closed. And people in the past may have thought, I don't even love my office atmosphere. I'd love for it to look like this. I'd love for it to change. I don't like this and this. Okay, whether you love or your office atmosphere is not ideal for you, the simple fact is for some people, they've gone through a change. And so what was their norm, they've been taken out of that norm, and now they were working in an office where they've got people around them all day, or if it's a small real estate office, they've got 1, 2, 3 people in that office, and they've got agents coming in and out. And that's kind of their norm. That is where their mental, what they're used to every single day. And now they're at home and there's nobody coming in and out and there's nobody sitting next to them. Even if this wasn't ideal for them, the fact that there's a change is affecting people from a mental health perspective. Okay, so here's 2 quick solutions that I have suggested to a number of people because they're things I've been doing for years, which is 1, create a virtual office, create a virtual culture. Go ahead and understand that something is only weird because you label it weird, okay? I have worked with people virtually for years and years and years, and what has become a norm is I've just got them pulled up on a Google video hangout or a Skype or a Zoom, and they're on there 8 hours a day. Now we may have each other's microphones muted, but just the fact that I know that they're there, that creates a new norm for me. So you can do that as a team. It can look like the Brady Bunch if you're that old and you remember the way Brady Bunch opened up, where you've got 8, 9 people on the screen all at once. But everybody can see each other working. Anybody needs help, they can go ahead and unmute themselves and say something and text and whatever. But here's the other thing, mini wins. Mini wins as a team. I'm going to really bring this down to a small team scale, because if you've got a bigger team, think how powerful this could be. Let's say your team is only 4 of you, okay? If there's only 4 of you, think of this. Now, there's a lot of ways you can do this. Email, text, Facebook Messenger, Facebook groups, different things like that. I like Slack. I think Slack is a great tool. And in Slack, you can create specific rooms or specific areas, and you could name one of them mini wins. And as a team, Monday through Friday up till 5 o'clock, you commit to each other that you are going to look for, notice, become self-aware of your wins and of the wins of the day. And what you are going to do is not only look for and notice 3 mini wins, but you're going to confess them and you're going to share them. So think of it from this perspective. Even if you just did this yourself, which I've been doing for years and years, it helps me get through the day from a mini win perspective, looking for 3 mini wins. Now, for me, I look for 3 mini wins in my marriage every day. I look for 3 mini wins in my family every day. I look for 3 mini wins in my professional career every day. So I'm actively looking for, and if I don't see enough of them, I'm actively then noticing I have to create the wins. Okay, so on your team, you're now actively becoming self-aware of the wins. Now, you also realize whether you need to create some. The big step here is this, though. If that was just you, that can be helpful and that can be effective. But let's say it's a team of 4 and you guys have a little Slack room or chat going on or anything like that, and every day before 5 o'clock you're supposed to post those. Not only are you sharing 3 mini wins, you have no idea on the other side of that message where someone is from a mental health perspective. And they see one of your wins and how you affect them. You take them out of their moment where they're experiencing anxiety, depression, sadness, anything else like that. And they see your mini win and it makes them chuckle. It makes them do something physical and it changes their mental state. Now, here's the other thing. Think of the power of this. This is on a small team of 4. Most real estate teams I work with, there's a lot more than 4 people on a team. But let's just say it's even just 4. 4 times 3 is 12. So here's what you notice. Think of the power of this. Is you are sharing 3 mini wins and you think, okay, so there's at least 3 great things going on in my life every single day, even if they're small, but they're there. They're real, okay? And all of a sudden, what you're noticing is it isn't actually just 3. There's only 4 of you. And every day before 5 o'clock, you get to see 12 of them. You get to see 12 of them. You know that this is real. You know that there are good things going on out there. You know that just speaks to your soul. It speaks to your spirit. Okay? Now, I just had someone that their mini win, literally, it can be this small. They noticed while they were working and while they were walking around the house that they had the news on in the background. And they were trying to keep on top of what's going on in coronavirus and everything. And quite frankly, it was getting a little excessive for them because they really weren't just sitting down for 15 minutes or a half an hour to get caught up on what's going on with coronavirus. It was the norm in the background, and all they heard was that all day. And they started realizing that they were starting to feel anxiety. First thing, self-awareness. Be self-aware of what you're feeling, okay? Then what they did is they took immediate action. I can't stress that phrase enough. Take immediate action. Get in the habit of taking immediate action. So what was her immediate action? Her immediate action was to just go over and turn it off. So now, first step, self-awareness. Second step, take immediate action. Third step, what did she do? And I can't stress, she gave herself credit for a win. And the fourth one, I can't stress this one enough. She sat down and typed it, and she sent me the mini win. She has no idea what I was dealing with at that moment that came in, and that was an encouraging thing to me at that moment. Now, what's the next thing that happens? I basically gave her a virtual high five, and I'm like, you are the bomb. Bam! You go, girl. Okay? So now she's feeling encouraged by the step that she took. Do you understand just the power of this? I'm looking for 3 mini wins per day. And a lot of people have heard me say this for years, and I'll continue to say it. I don't ever see myself stopping to say it, and that is Mini wins are huge. Mini wins are huge. Okay? Some of what's going on is changing us and taking us out of our norm, which is affecting us from our mental health perspective. Focus on mini wins. Commit to 3 mini wins a day. And if you don't have a community, you can create a community. It can be as small as 3 to 4 people, and you're seeing 12 mini wins per day. You can create that community. Second thing is, if you don't have anyone to share them to, say them out loud and start journaling them. Get out a notebook, and every day, Monday through Friday at least, okay, write down your 3 mini wins per day. Now understand, I do this in my family, I do this in my marriage, and I do this in work. This is the authentic me, and this is what I've been doing for years and years and years. And I would say that a lot of people are kind of talking about what were their wins for 2019? What are their goals for 2020? A couple of people have heard me say, my big win for 2019, hands down, was that I had an amazing, the best in years, mental health year. That was my win. Mental health, we don't have to be afraid to talk about it. And understand 2 things that can have help to you is, number 1, when it comes to mental health, self-awareness is one of your absolute most powerful and important tools. Becoming self-aware. And then number 2 is building up skill sets to properly manage your mental health. You can have all the great skills and all the great techniques in the world, and those are just more effective if you have the power of self-awareness. You notice that you're dipping in to a dark place. The earlier you notice those things, the more effective those tools are. I'm not saying that they aren't helpful when you're in the darkest of the dark places, okay? But it's a lot harder to pull yourself out of those and have those tools be effective for you. That self-awareness of catching things early. Now, if you're within community where you're doing things that are healthy to your mental health, all the better. Love you guys. Hope this was helpful to someone. God bless you. Love you, love you, love you, love you. See you. Bye.